So you want to buy a house for under $350,000 in the state of Florida. It seems impossible to do, but it is not impossible. There are plenty of good houses out there in that price point, and I'm going to tell you where they are. My name is Sean Faulk, and this is my Florida Home Show. We talk all things Florida here, but I am a mortgage loan originator and a real estate agent, so I can help you with this part of your journey into moving to Florida. So today's video, I'm going to talk about 4 different cities, and I'm going to showcase 4 specific homes that I think would be a good fit for somebody who is looking under $350,000, whether you're just starting out, whether this is a snowbird house. In some cases, if you want an investment property, it can work. And I'm going to explain to you what they are, where they are, and my first rule of thumb when people ask me about areas, they say, is this safe? And I can't answer that because I'm a real estate agent and that would be against the code of ethics and the rules for me to say something like that. But I will never show you a place or take you somewhere that I would not have my mother stay if she asked me where she should live. So just keep that in mind as we go. I know where these areas are and they're good. So let's start with the first one. So the first city that I'm going to talk about is Kissimmee. Kissimmee, Florida gets a weird reputation sometimes from people where they're like, oh, it's not as great or it's not safe or whatever. I lived there for 7 or 8 years, never had any issues, never had any problems. And I think that's something that comes up a lot for Florida. Our cities are huge. Like they stretch really far. So Kissimmee is like 30 miles in length. So obviously you're going to have some areas that are not quite as nice as other areas. But where I lived, which is closer to the Disney side, and it's the more western side of Kissimmee, I actually think is a pretty good area. And it was where I got my starter house. And I think it's a great location. So there are 166 total homes in Kissimmee right now that are between $250,000 and $350,000. But I'm specifically going to talk about the westernmost part of Kissimmee, which is where our first house is. So as you can see on the map, our first home in Kissimmee is right off 192 and Poinciana. It is within 10-15 minutes of the Walt Disney World theme parks, about 25-ish minutes to Universal Studios, 25 to 30 to the airport, depending on traffic, and then about an hour and 10, I would say, to the East Coast beaches, and about an hour and 45 to the West Coast beaches. So the specific house that we're looking at, this was built in 1992, and it is $330,000. The HOA here is $46 a month. The pool, playground, and park are included in that. The taxes were $2,137, and it is on almost 1/4 of an acre. The roof and AC are older. They're original / 2004 for the roof, but it's 1,380 square feet heated, and that does not include the garage for heated. And it looks like all the floors are either vinyl or they're carpet in just 2 of the bedrooms. So the smaller bedrooms will get carpet in them, but our primary bedroom is going to be vinyl. I think this is a really nice house to be a starter home or just a second home for somebody as well. It's not huge by any means, but I like the location a lot. I think it's awesome that it has a private pool for that price point. And I don't think it's the most updated home in the world, of course, like looking at the kitchen and the shower and the bathroom, but it looks good for what it is. Like, it doesn't look to be in bad condition. And that's really what we're looking at. Is everybody's tastes are a little different, but is the condition of the home good? And this appears to be a really nice house, and I don't think $330,000 is a crazy asking point to be that close to Disney. The second city I want to talk about is Davenport, Florida. Davenport is known as a short-term rental city more than anything else. A lot of the homes there are second homes, and they are vacation houses for people. But there are many communities in Davenport that ban short-term rentals, and you can't short-term rent. And it is becoming a little more prevalent as people are having to move out further from the parks. They want some of those to be more residential communities. So I've decided for this home to show you a house that is not zoned for short-term renting. You cannot do it here. You have to live in it full-time, or you can rent it out at a 12-month lease. So as you can see on the map, we are well above the actual downtown part of Davenport, and we're a lot closer to Champions Gate. So this will be right off I-4, and you can get to Disney literally, depending, if you go at midnight, you can get there in about 10 minutes. If you go any other time of day, it's going to take you a solid 35-40 minutes. Traffic, it's crazy busy at this location. It is very, very hectic going up I-4 this direction. Going north on Highway 27 is a little bit better of a bet, but that can get very backed up as well. The airport is roughly 50 to an hour from here, and then the West Coast beaches are going to be more like an hour and 20 to an hour and 30 minutes. So this is a good location. It is very close to shopping. It is very close to tons of restaurants, but it is very commercialized through here. But I think it's a great location for getting your start and getting a small home or a second home. And that's what I want to show you now. So this home is from 2002. It has an HOA of $50 per month. That includes the pool, the playground, and the gates because this is a gated community. And it is listed for $299,000. I told you we were going to stay under $350,000. I was not one of those people to push the limit there. So we're well under the $350,000 budget. The taxes were $1,925 last year. It is on 0.16 acres. It is a fenced yard, and it's actually a pretty large yard. I think it's a good size overall. The roof, the AC, and the hot water heater were all replaced within the last 5 years, so you don't need to do any of that. So you can budget money for cosmetic upgrades if you'd like. And the majority of the house is all carpet, but any wet areas are going to be tile. Again, I do think this is a nice little house. It's 1,440 heated square feet, so not including the garage, but it does a well-maintained community and it is close to everything. You have to remember, while traffic is crazy, most of your days you're going to work, a lot of people work from home, and then you're also maybe going to the grocery store. It doesn't get as chaotic as it does on vacation. The third city I've chosen to talk about is Groveland, Florida. So Groveland is to the northwest of the Walt Disney World theme parks. It is located just to the west of Clermont, Florida. And Clermont is a lot more developed than Groveland is. So Groveland does still have a lot of new build opportunities, but of course I'm showing resale homes. So we'll take a look at a really good one. So as you can see from the map, the house I'm specifically looking at is in the very eastern part of Groveland, and it's right next to Clermont. So that Clermont's going to have a lot of stuff to do, a lot of shopping, a lot of chain restaurants, mom and pop restaurants. Several really nice movie theaters are in Clermont, so you're very close to the action. This will be about 45 minutes of a drive to Disney property and about 45-50 minutes to the airport as well. Universal Studios will be around 45 minutes too. And you can get to Hernando Beach, which is going to be the closest beach on the west coast, in about an hour and 10 minutes. And you can get out to Port Canaveral if you want to take a cruise in about an hour and a half. So let's see this house. This house was built in 2004. The HOA is $27 a month, and it covers the park, the playground, and the community pool, though you do have a private pool here. The golf course is a public golf course, and this home is listed for $339,900, so we're at $340,000. The taxes were just over $2,300 last year. It is on 0.13 acres, and the roof and the AC are original, but that's okay. 2,336 square feet, and most of the house is either tile or carpet. I think this is a really big house for the price, and I think that you would be getting a pretty good buy here. Groveland's a nice area. So my last city for this video is Haines City, Florida. Haines City, Florida is a little bit beyond Davenport, so you're getting a little bit further out. But if you're more interested in going to West Coast beaches or over to Lakeland, Tampa area, then you're a little bit closer and you're avoiding a lot of the Disney traffic going west. Haines City is a large area as well, but the place I'm going to specifically talk about is on Lake Lowry, which is not conventional to what you would think of when you think of Haines City, and it is also a non-HOA home. As you can see on the map, we are right at the north point of Lake Lowry, and that is going to be a little bit more rural, which is great for some people. And the beaches on the west coast are probably going to be just at an hour from here. Disney is going to be around an hour as well. Remember, when you're leaving this location, you do have to get out to the main road, and that can take a little bit longer. The airport's about an hour and 10 minutes, and the East Coast beaches are going to be about an hour and a half. There's not going to be a lot to do in this specific area, but within 15 minutes of a drive, you could be in downtown Haines City. You could also be over in Lake Alfred, and you're really not that far from Lakeland either, which has a lot of great things to do. So looking at the exterior of this house, I know what you're thinking. I thought the same thing too. But the inside has been completely remodeled and I think it looks really nice. Again, this is a non-HOA community. If you're not in an HOA, there is nobody there to tell you or your neighbors what you must do. So if you don't like something, there's nobody to go to. But if you want that freedom, this is a great opportunity for you. This house was built in 1978. It is on Lake Lowry and it does have a private boat ramp, which of course you need to maintain yourself, but it is there if you want to go take a boat out. You can easily do that in Lake Lowry. The taxes on this property were $1,336. The acreage is 0.34 acres, so it is actually over a quarter of an acre. The home itself is 2,048 square feet heated, and it is vinyl throughout the entire house. It looks really good. They've done a great remodel with the kitchen. The appliances look newer. Updated bathrooms. I do like this butcher block countertop that they put in one part of the house. And the backyard looks really nice too. And you could have this home for $285,000. So I don't think that is a bad deal at all. So that is a look at 4 cities here in the state of Florida, then right around the Disney bubble actually, that still have housing under $350,000. There are plenty of these houses out there, so feel free to say in the comments which house you preferred the most and what city you would want to live in, as well as giving a like and subscribe if you want to see more of this content. So please contact me if you are looking for housing or for a mortgage loan to be originated for you. Sean, S-E-A-N, at realestateinorlando.com. Until next time.